Yes, thank you.
Yes. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. Thank you for your time, of course. On behalf of Team Ambie, I'd like to welcome you today. Before starting, I want to mention the handout in the chat. We can also send this by mail after the meeting if you don't have access. For those who don't already know me, my name is Mimoun Ibrahimi, and I'm a business student. And I would like also to introduce other members of my team, Team Ambie. The first one I would like to introduce is named Pravita.
Hi.
Uh, she is a communication student. The next person I would like to introduce is Nikita.
Hello.
He is a business innovation student. And the last person I would like to introduce is Zen.
Hi.
She is
And,
a she is a communication student.
and one remark is that our fifth member of the group is Manal. She couldn't be here today because she has an exam. Thank you.
I'm really looking forward to talk with you today about our concept. So I would like to start with our mission. We Ambi team, we envision the Sluisbuurt to be green. We want to create a balance between nature and the urban environment. Our concept aims to create as many green spaces as possible, meaning wider and larger pocket parks and allies, rooftop gardens on buildings, and special parks alongside canals. The purpose of these nature spots is to gather people in them so they can relax and unwind from daily routine. This will help them also to find peace and calm. We want to improve their mental health because people spend more time tend to improve their overall sense of well-being and mental health, as well as their happiness levels and positive thinking. The next, so the next, let's talk about the personas. This persona is a elderly person. Her name is Elma. She is from 60 to 75 years old. She enjoys a calm and peaceful life. She likes to go more often outside and enjoys the nature. The trend we saw in this persona is inspired by the nature trend. Because people right now are sitting more solitude in nature and green spaces because of overcrowded areas in the world. So this persona wants more space. The next persona is a student. His name is John. He's from 18 to 28 years old. He wants to study outside. He is, as you can see on the picture, overstressed. He wants stress relief, and we connected this trend of the trend of burnout because people are getting more burnouts anytime in the history. So we want to fix that, and we want to make them more calm and relaxed.
So um, let me tell you about what we want to include in our concept. So we're saying that we want to include more trees and more grass and more flowers. And here is the overview of the thing that we want to add in the neighborhood. So these are trees and plants, flowers, water, such as canal. So we have some space for water recreational activities, as well some benches, grass, and lights. So we want to include all of these elements in the prototype because we think that all of them are important for people to be surrounded with, because all of them create a kind of a natural feeling and can help people to unwind and relax. So here is some inspiration that kept us kept us going forward, and as you can see, this nature idea that we are proposing is not new. It is something that has been around for a while, and it is very beautiful how different cities and countries are implementing it. And for example, you can see on the picture here, in the bottom center. This is in Singapore. So people from there went kind of beyond the usual urban architecture, and they decided to make it more natural feeling. So right now I want to share you my prototype and our prototype, and we made it in the program called Minecraft. So let me switch. Yes. So this is what we kind of created. This is a neighborhood with different pocket parks and different rooftop gardens. So this is one of the pocket parks that we want to create. So as you can see, there are different trees and different flowers, and people have different, basically different paths to walk on. And what we really wanted to create is a kind of water culture. So we want to create more activity next to the water. So as you can see, you can sit on the benches and enjoy just the view on the canal. Or in hot summer season, you can jump in the water and just enjoy the coolness of the waves. Or what else is you can rent a boat and enjoy the slow sport on the canal itself. So we really wanted to create this water recreation culture because it really allows people to unwind. And next thing that we created is rooftop gardens. So by this, I mean, it is basically a garden on a rooftop. And the reason to create that is that it adds up much more nature for people who are living in the building. So imagine if you're a business person, or you are a person with a busy schedule, or you are an office worker, and you have 10 minutes break and you really want to go outside, but you don't have time. With this concept, with the rooftop gardens, you can really spend some time outside without leaving your building, without necessarily going outside. So people can really relax and sit on the benches and enjoy the view on the neighborhood, thanks to the skyline as well. And as you can see, it is very beautiful, and different places for people to sit down and lie on. And if they want, they can also just take a book and enjoy the read. And this is kind of an overview what we wanted to create in the rooftop gardens for people to give them space and help them to relax. And yeah, one other pocket park is, I'm flying to it, yeah, is this pocket park. And basically you can see that there are different trees and different plants around. So we really spent some time coming up with different designs, because this is what people liked about our prototype, is that there are different pocket parks. And what they especially liked is the possibility to rent a boat and enjoy the ride. So yes, so as you can see, there are also different lighting on the side of the canals. So you can really enjoy the ride no matter the season. So no matter if it's winter or it's summer, you can enjoy it despite the time of the day. And this is one other rooftop garden. It is a little bit bigger, and as you can see, it has kind of a different theme. So different trees and different plants, and as well some bookshelf places. So people can really, again, sit down and enjoy the sun, enjoy the weather. And what we wanted us to create is a kind of this space. As you can see, there is a campfire there. We're not going to put a campfire on the roof. It is some kind of space with maybe a closed fire where people can gather up and have a nice chat, or well, people can enjoy talking to each other. And with the fire, we wanted to create some kind of a warm place where everybody can feel safe and relaxed to open up and unwind. And let me share my screen again. So this was our prototype, and here I will talk about where we're going to put it. So on the neighborhood map, it is this place here. So if you want be more specific, it is on pointed at this arrow. So we would this place has a water access, and it's also quite a big pocket park. So we think that we can make something out of there, and yes. And if you want me to show you again a more real feel of the neighborhood, how it can really look well in Sloughsburg. So I will go again in the inspiration. So it can really look like this, or like this picture or that picture. So a combination of nature and urban architecture is really stunning, and it looks very attractive to users, and they really like being immersed by it. And thank you for listening to me and to Mimoun. And my colleague will wrap up the presentation. And thank you.
Good morning. My name is Anna. I'm the fifth person of the group. Unfortunately, I couldn't be here today, but I do want to thank you for listening to our presentation. If you have any questions, please let us know, and Pravita and Zen will answer your questions straight away.
Yes, so now it's time for questions.
Yeah. I apologize if I have any background noise. The neighbors are building a new house or something. Again. So questions.
Yes, anybody raising hands? Well, I'm just going to ask some people. So maybe Sharmila, you would like to start with a question or?
Yes, thank you for your presentation. I see you have done a lot of work in Minecraft. Looks good, very elaborative, and I really like that you attend really current issues like the mental problems of the burnout, and the balance between nature and urban is really an urban environment here. So it really fits in the thoughts of the Sluisbuurt, the concept. Maybe I missed it because I was trying for the feedback form something, but the management of the park or the place, did you mention this? And what is your concepts?
Yeah, we did look into some key partners. So with Mimoun can tell a little bit about that because he contacts a lot of people.
Yeah, I can answer that question. I've contacted, as Zen said, a lot of key partners, possible key partners, and two partners have I've received two emails by two key partners, very positive ones. One named 020 Groen, and the other one named Tophoveniers. The 020 Groen is a company who is a supplier for trees, plants, and flowers, and also specialized in maintaining green. And the second one, Tophoveniers, is also very excited about this project and want to be mentioned. Is specialized in maintaining green. So these two key partners are very interested.
Oh, that's nice to hear that you already actively search for this. It's really key for this project. Who's going to maintain it? And do you know if they already also have budget for it, or because?
No, we haven't discussed that yet with them. We haven't yet discussed.
No.
But also the thing is, because a pocket park, you really create your own space. So our wish is that the people who's going to live in the Sluisbuurt feel connected to the pocket parks, and also will take care of it as a voluntary thing. And really feel connected to a pocket park, so they really want to take care of it. So that's why.
Yeah, yes. I want to add up to Pravita. I've also contacted some companies who deliver volunteers in many cities. So I'm waiting on this email as well. This is
Yeah.
all, yeah.
Would be very interesting to combine this ownership feeling with the residents together with some bigger party like 020 or who you emailed. Would be nice. Well, thank you for your presentation.
All right.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
So I see a raised hand.
Oh, I don't see it.
I just saw it and now it's gone.
yeah.
I see
Yes.
a couple of them.
So go.
Yes.
I cannot see who raised his hand, so that's why. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, here. Ruben. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, thanks for the presentation. My children love to play Minecraft, and I see a great other application of this the game. I love the green approach. I put my question in the chat also, and I think it could give this neighborhood a distinctive character also in the long run. Myself, I live in a very green neighborhood in the south of Amsterdam, and we enjoy that every day. A lot of people do. It adds a lot to the quality of life, but it also seems to ask quite some specific and possibly costly requirements for the buildings. And my question is, did you contact developers or architects on this? And can you say anything about what this means for the developers and architects?
Well, what we know about the municipality of Amsterdam is that they're already going to come green spaces. So what we really wanted to do is add up to the plans of the municipality.
Yeah, and I think you're, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're really focusing on the rooftop gardens ID, that's going to be, to be honest, I don't think we really contacted people who are specialized in this. Also because it's kind of not really a strange, but a newer concept, of course. So we couldn't really think of people who were specialized in it. We haven't really found them.
Yeah, because in Beethovenstraat in South, in Amsterdam Zuid, they're actually building this building called Village, and it's full of trees and greenery within the design. But I can imagine that then sort of the inhabitants or the developers of the Sluisbuurt need to be willing to kind of adapt their architecture. So that I find an interesting aspect. So I thought maybe you could tell me something about it. Beethovenstraat just after the A10. So if you go to the south, when you go underneath the A10, it's immediately on your left hand. It's Zuidas.
Okay.
Well, maybe an add-on in your design rationale. Sjors, you have raised your hand as well.
Yep. I was wondering, because the first presentation was more about placemaking, and you can add the first presentation, you can do it from the beginning. I was wondering, from what moment do you expect that your ID will best fit the Sluisbuurt?
Yeah, good question. I think because we were told some of the plans that they had, like when they were going to build stuff, but I can't think of them right now. But I think because we really work with nature, and nature is kind of this always there. It will always be there. So I think as soon as they start building, and if they it's kind of difficult because I've personally never built a park in any way, so I'm not sure how the whole process goes and how it goes with building the buildings. But I think it's something that they really can build from the start if that's possible with the building plans. I think it should be implemented right away, basically.
The only thing I want to say to adapt to the Zen's comment is that trees will grow as the neighborhood grows. So we know that the development of the neighborhood, so from right now, so from a field until a fully working neighborhood with the buildings and everything, will take around 15 years. And we can basically plant the trees right now. And during this 15 years, they will grow, and first residents of the neighborhood who will be living there right now, currently on a construction site, they will have these trees. right there, straight away. And of course, not on the rooftop gardens, but on the pocket parks, they will have them. And they will see that as they age, as they live in the slower spurt, the trees grow as well. So this is what I wanted to add. Yeah.
It develops over time. So Karel raised his hand, and please.
Yes, thank you very much for a very nice presentation. Looks visually also very attractive, and using now you lost me.
Minecraft.
Minecraft was very nice as well. I have a specific question on Minecraft as well, but related to some other questions. What, according to you, is so typical for the green urban spaces, and especially for green urban spaces on Zeeburg Island? Because I missed a little bit the localization that you were talking about. So, for example, this image, I can understand this is about green urban spaces, but are these the typical images you would imagine for green urban spaces on Zeeburg Island, and why?
I don't think so, because we went to some of the, I forgot the name, which skate park was it? We went there to
the urban sport zone.
Yeah, we went there, and at the map that we had been presented at Tollhouse, it looked like a very green space, and then we kind of went there, and it was mostly concrete and a few trees. So we really felt like we needed to do something different for the Sluisbuurt, because we really wanted it to be nature and not just some trees and maybe a green wall. We really wanted it to be immersive and real feel like nature. So that's why I feel like, it doesn't maybe really add up, but I think maybe if we implement this at Sluisbuurt, and then the other neighborhoods will maybe, if they are interested, take a look at it and maybe implement it on their neighborhoods as well. We really want to be an example in a way. Yeah,
I understand, but maybe what I mean is a little bit different, because the green spaces in an isle or even a polder landscape like Zeeburg Island is a little bit different than, for example, in Singapore or even in Zuid-Limburg. So that's what I was thinking about. So how to localize this idea of green urban spaces for the people and on this specific area. Did you think about that, or did you have any ideas about that?
Yes, I think that it's of course different, but what we had heard is that they also become high buildings, and we don't want to have only high buildings. We really want to not only see the nature like on eye height. We really want, if you look up, you also see the nature. It's really like around you, it surrounds you, and that's you can implement when you have high buildings and you have plants coming up the buildings. Then you really have nature everywhere. So I think, it's different because the different landscape, but there's still high buildings and we still can implement it in a way.
Sure. Now I understand, but even a high-rise building in Singapore with luscious greens is totally different than a high-rise building with greens.
No, I understand your question. So, I'm having a difficult time formulating my answer.
No, it's just to have a conversation more or less. It's
not
it's like
good.
I'm testing
you. I really like it.
And then there's the related to Minecraft. I was thinking of this because of Minecraft, because it was a really nice presentation and it gave you a great impression for what you mean to say, like a trip through this area. But at the same time, what is so typical about Minecraft that it is very, very, very generic, right? It's cubes.
Yeah.
So my advice would be use it not for showing or telling the more specific the specifics of your concept of idea, but to explain the generics of your concept.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you.
Sharmila had raised her hand again.
Felix also, I see him.
Yeah, I see
going up a few times. So maybe.
I know.
Yeah.
I start with Sharmila, and then we have to move towards the pause, the break. So Sharmila, do you have urgent question. I don't hear it. Felix?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Petra actually has a question.
Oh,
Her
that's
computer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I'm not in. You only hear me, right? You can't see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hear you.
Okay. Well, I also liked the presentation very much. From my background as a choreographer who is busy with movement and space awareness, I like the idea that you want to solve the issue of stress by relaxing. But in my opinion, I felt that the relaxing was in sitting. So all the activities in the park are about sitting in the fire, or sitting and watching the water, or sitting in a boat, etc. And I was wondering why you did not include activities, because in trees you can climb, or you can run, or you can play, or you can in nature you can have like areas where you can just fool around and make stuff, especially because I think now there's no really an interaction between different kind of ages. So you're all only focused on elderly and on young people. But even I think to get the stress out of your body by moving, that really helps. So I was wondering why you didn't include moving or move activities.
We did think about that. Can I go, Pravita, or do you? All right. So we really thought about it at the very beginning, and we kind of felt like if we were going to kind of hand people all these activities, that oh, you can do this, and you can this, and you can do this, and you can do this, then they would feel like those are kind of obligatory in the green spaces. So we really wanted to keep it basic and make this basic park so the people would go there and in a way invent what the pocket parks are for. So they can go there and have a picnic if they want. They can go there and jog if they want, or climb the trees. That's we really wanted to leave that up to them, so they can, in a way, gain
they can make
ownership.
Their own place.
Yeah,
they can make their own place. That is kind of the idea. But of course, we also thought about making like guidelines before you entering the pocket park, so you kind of have an idea what you could do, but you really want let people to make their own place out of the pocket park. So that was kind of the idea.
Yeah, zeker.
Okay, thank you. So that means that because you create a park, so you set the rules. So within the rules, or you give the invitation that you can create with what you see. You can create different other stuff. Am I right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the question, because now we got to mention that.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for presenting it. I don't see any raised hand anymore, so I would like to thank you for the first two presentations, and then ask Zirk to host our break. And I would like everybody to have like, how much shall we say? Maximum of 10 minutes, and then we'll joining back for our third presentation by Team Free Minds.
Yep.
So maybe you could stop sharing your screen. And then it's time. And then we have some new guests here. Good morning, Peggy and Jan-Arike. Thank you for joining us. We're having a short break now. And then in 10 minutes, we continue our presentations. And I do see Zirk, but he's like into Svekli's immersion in Sluisdurp. So, yeah.
Esther, we can stop the...
Yep.